Candace Owens, Narcissist or Something Else? Part 3. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. As we continue to scrutinise the life of Candace Owens to make a determination as to what she might be, we turn now to her intimate relationships. This is often a fertile place for finding indicators to assist us in the determination of what a person might be. Do we see long-lasting, stable, abuse-free relationships where, even if they come to an end, after all, most people have had more than one intimate relationship, the participants speak about one another with respect? Do we see stability, the presence of emotional empathy, respect, decency, patience in those relationships? Is there an absence of criticism which might support the fact that the relationships have passed privately and without incident? Alternatively, do we see many intimate relationships, some perhaps overlapping? Are there accusations of infidelity? What do the parties say about one another? Are there certain relationships who are on and off and on and off? Are the relationships short-lived? Is it the case that the relationships move quickly towards having children, towards living together? These are notable indicators with regard to the presence of narcissistic traits. Might it be that the individual exhibits a haughty dismissiveness towards their partner, a disregard for how they ought to be treated, showing interpersonal exploitation of that relationship and an absence of emotional empathy? Might it be that the individual expects to be treated in a particular way, and when their romantic partner falls short, they're cast to one side, evidencing delusions of grandeur and an expectation of being treated in a special way? Well, we shall consider all of this as we look at Candace Owens' relationships. Public knowledge of her romantic life is somewhat sparse, pieced together from her own sporadic disclosures, celebrity feuds that spawned rumours and speculative online discourse. There's no verified chronology of multiple high-profile relationships. Instead, her narrative actually centres on a whirlwind courtship leading to marriage in 2019. But we will come to that in due course. As mentioned in Part 2, Owens' childhood was marked by stability, which she credited with shaping her scepticism toward progressive narratives on family and relationships. Owens has positioned herself as a critic of huck-up culture, suggesting her own youth was influenced by conservative Christian values instilled by her grandmother, who emphasized self-reliance and moral discipline. No evidence exists of early boyfriends or dating scandals from her teenage years from 1989 to 2006. In interviews, Owens has implied that her early dating experiences were minimal and unremarkable, shaped by a focus on academics and survival rather than romance. During a 2024 appearance on the Whatever podcast, a long-form discussion on dating dynamics, she alluded to past mistakes in youth, but stressed learning from them without actually providing any specifics. This era laid the groundwork for her public stance. Relationships should prioritise intellectual compatibility and shared values over fleeting attraction. She has quipped that people tend to marry their IQ, a philosophy she later applied to her own union. This sounds like an individual that wasn't in a rush to get into relationships, which would perhaps militate against the suggestion of an individual being a narcissist. Or alternative, there has been a revision of history, a careful covering up of what has gone on. Just because somebody wasn't focused necessarily on romantic relationships doesn't mean that they can't be a narcissist. But one key indicator is, of course, a reliance upon relationships and a lot of them. From 2007 to 2015, Owens' relationship situation altered. She attended the University of Rhode Island from 2007 to 2011, majoring in English literature. This period coincided with her political awakening, including a brief flirtation with liberal activism before shifting rightward. Public records reveal no confirmed relationships, but online rumours persist of a 2-year romance with a Jewish ex-boyfriend during or shortly after college. It's claimed that she dated a Jewish man for 2 years in her mid-20s, potentially overlapping with her early career at Vogue 2011 to 2012 and a private equity firm. No name or corroborating details have surfaced, and searches yield no interviews or photos. If true, it would align with Owens's pre-conservative phase, when she identified more progressively. Owens has not addressed the rumour of this relationship directly, but has spoken generally about early dating pitfalls. In her 29 podcast episode, I Discuss My Dating History, she responded to a listener question by describing her pre-fame romances as disappointing and dominated by weak men who lacked ambition. This might speak to having an unrealistic representation of what romantic partners might be, that she regards herself as superior to them and special, and that the men that she dated did not come up to that standard. To also refer to him in that manner could be seen as haughty and dismissive on her part. Furthermore, she recounted dumping one unnamed boyfriend for being too passive, calling him not even worth discussing. Is that dismissiveness? In a 2023 clip that went viral on YouTube, she said, "Women smell weak men from a mile away," she said, framing the breakup as a moment of empowerment. Owens portrays these relationships as learning curves that reinforced her preference for brilliant partners. Are these just obvious and honest observations that she has made in relation to her dating history, or are they redolent of an attitude by a woman who believes that she should only be dating the best and shows an absence of emotional empathy for talking about people that fall below that standard so dismissively? Whilst, of course, any individual would want to have the best person that they would date, that in itself isn't conclusive with regard to proving that anybody is a narcissist. The fact that she exhibits such dismissiveness in regard to those that have fallen short of the standard that she has imposed might suggest an absence of emotional empathy or reduced emotional empathy, and certainly a haughty dismissiveness. By 2012 to 15, Owens was launching Social Autopsy, an anti-cyberbullying site, and working in marketing at Degree 180. Her focus then was professional, with dating taking a back seat. In the Whatever podcast, she revealed a low body count, implying 2 or fewer serious partners before marriage, positioning herself as a role model against casual sex. Pausing there. This potentially could be a revision of history as a consequence of facade management, or, on the basis that it is true, demonstrative of somebody exhibiting principles and perhaps a moral compass in not having a lot of relationships and showing consistency with regard to being a model against casual sex. Alternatively, it could be the case that being such a role model is part of a facade, and there is consistency by utilization of that facade, that it's not driven from genuine emotional empathy, but driven out of its usefulness. She stated, "I dated bad boys in my 20s, but I grew out of it," she reflected without naming individuals. Former partners have certainly remained silent, likely due to her rising fame and quite possibly the risk of backlash. As Owens ascended in conservative circles, joining Turning Point USA in 2017 and co-founding Blexit in 2018, rumours swirled of a close, possibly romantic bond with Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Their professional synergy was evident. Owens credited Kirk with launching her career, calling him a mentor in early interviews. By 2018, speculation intensified, fueled by their frequent collaborations and a perceived special relationship. They were described as best friends with forbidden love undertones, citing a loving video Owens shared post Kirk's death. Ex-posts amplify this, suggesting Owens harboured unrequited feelings, leading to her quick exit from Turning Point USA in May 2019 after controversial Hitler comments. Notwithstanding this, there is no evidence that confirms an actual romance. Kirk began dating Erika Franzva in August 2018, marrying her in 2019. Owens has denied anything beyond friendship. But in a September 2025 Facebook video, she mourned Kirk as the power couple of the century, with his wife hinting at potentially lingering emotional ties. Posthumously, amid conspiracy theories about Kirk's assassination, she claimed he came to her in a dream, confessed betrayal, reigniting gossip of a jilted dynamic. Kirk never commented on Owens romantically. This period's relationship was platonic professionally charged, with Owens later reflecting on it as a betrayal by conservative allies, not lovers. Owens' only confirmed relationship is her marriage to British businessman George Farmer, son of Conservative Party Treasurer Lord Michael Farmer. They met on December the 11th, 2018, at a Turning Point UK launch event in London, where Owens spoke. Farmer, then 29 and chairman of Turning Point UK, hosted the dinner. Just 17 days later, on December the 29th, he proposed via FaceTime, without a single date. Nothing romantic was said at all, Farmer recalled in a 2023 interview with Matt Fradd on Pints with Aquinas. Owens echoed this divine serendipity. It was very much a God thing. The speed at which these two became engaged is a red flag, but which way is it flying? Is it as a consequence of her ensnaring Farmer that caused him to propose so soon? Or is it the other way around, that he is the one that's waving the red flag and that she has been ensnared by somebody wanting to bring her under control in a particularly short period of time? The fact that the proposal took place via FaceTime without a single date almost smacks of expediency rather than genuine love. Might this be a situation of narcissist cementation? The fact that Owen references the divine serendipity as very much a God thing certainly smacks of grandiosity and a belief of being subjected to a special power. Engaged on Valentine's Day 2019, they wed on August 31st, 2019 at Trump Winery in Charlottesville, Virginia. Again, the speed at which they move from engagement to marriage is also a red flag, typical of the narcissist's need to assert control over an intimate partner primary source and drink of their various benefits. The venue was chosen by Owens for symbolism, despite the site's Unite the Right rally history 2 years prior. The ceremony, attended by 200 guests, including Donald Trump Jr., featured 3 Monique Lehrer gowns for Owens and a morning suit for Farmer. They reside in Nashville, Tennessee, with 4 children, Hugo, Louise, an unnamed son, and a 4th that was born in July 2025. The marriage has been publicly affectionate, with Owens praising Farmer's intellect. I fell in love with my husband because he's one of the most brilliant people ever. Farmer, a former Parler CEO worth an estimated $200 million via Family Metals trading, shares her conservatism. Might this wealth be a residual benefit? Yet rumours of discord emerged early. In March 2021, during a Twitter feud with Cardi B over a Grammy performance, Cardi alleged Farmer cheated on Owens with her brother Corey. "Your husband is having an extramarital affair with a man," Cardi tweeted, escalating to threats of lawsuits. Owens dismissed it as gossip, but the claim went viral, inspiring TikToks and X-posts alleging Farmer's bisexuality and Owens as a beard. A 2022 Hot New Hip Hop article reported Owens jokingly referencing the rumour on her show, but no confirmation followed. No evidence substantiates infidelity. It's tied to Cardi B's unsubstantiated jab, amplified by Owens' polarising persona. There are no allegations of abuse in this relationship, no domestic violence claims against Farmer or Owens, or in relation to prior partners. Speculation ties marital strains to Owens' 2024 Daily Wire firing over anti-Semitism rows, with ex-users claiming Farmer's Zionist family, his mother is Jewish Zimbabwean, clashed with her views. Farmer himself has stayed silent publicly. No ex-partners have spoken publicly about Owens, underscoring her privacy. The unnamed weak boyfriend from her 2019 podcast remains anonymous, as does the rumoured Jewish ex. Kirk, if ever romantic, predeceased any clarification. Owens, conversely, has been candid about exes in aggregates. In I Discuss My Dating History, she lamented attracting uncommitted men who kept her around without committing, tying it to her pre-faith self. On Whatever, she advised against high body counts, sharing her low number as proof of better partnerships. A 2023 TikTok clip captured her nostalgia. Why keep me in his life but not commit? I wanted to be a mother. These anecdotes portray exes as cautionary tales, lacking strength or vision. Owens' romantic chronology is more absence than abundance: a veiled youth, rumoured early flings, a mentor crush spectre, and a rapid marriage shadowed by tabloid whispers. Infidelity claims are against Farmer, but they simply persist as unproven celebrity shade, with zero abuse evidence. Her reflections emphasise growth towards traditionalism, critiquing past weakness while idealising her union. Could this be that simply this is an individual that doesn't seek drama, that doesn't idealise and devalue, that doesn't engage in a manner of repeated relationships? Or might it actually be that is an individual who asserts considerable control but manages to keep it private, that what goes on behind closed doors stays there and therefore is kept away from the public view? Whilst there are some factors which provide us with evidence, we still need to look at more of her behaviour in the round and pull the various strands together, which we should continue to do so in part 4. Join me there.